So we're going to, my job is simple. I'm a facilitator. A facilitator, all you just do is direct people. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. Ogami, you are here now. Just direct. So I'm going to direct all of us. You know, we're going to go together. When I enter today, I say, these are the kind of people I'm meeting. These are my seniors in Ikorodu and their colleagues. What will I tell them that they don't know? So the energy here, everybody here together, we're going to form. Don't look at me, I'm just going to be pushing us in the right direction. Very soon we're going to form groups. We're going to form groups, 3 on this side, 3 on this side. We're going to have discussions. And I'm going to share with you my story. Stories probably known to only my wife. But I'm going to share it here today and now. 4 stories. I promise you, I have more than 100 stories. But I'll share 4 that will enforce this. Who has gotten to chapter verse 27? Someone should help me read it, please. It's a popular story. I just want us to read it. Just like me, I didn't bring my. I just got a new phone, so I not downloaded my Bible on it, and I didn't bring it. Who has helped me, please? Luke 7:27.
This is he of whom it is written, behold, I send my messenger before your face, who will prepare your way before you.
Actually, that's it. That's not the scripture I'm looking for. That's not. What I'm looking for is the scripture, a popular one, that says that you build your house on rock, on hay, right? And that when the storm comes, not if the storm comes, when the storm comes, when, because the storm must come, not shall, must come. In any business you are doing, in any environment you are. Matthew 7, right? Sorry, 27. Maybe I got it wrong. There is going to be environmental effects. The storm is an environmental. Yesterday, I went to work, I work on the island. And because Tinubu, the governor, wants to go and pray at the mosque. Or the president, sorry. Went to go and pray at the mosque. Held us up for 5 hours. The whole of Lagos Island was held up. Environmental, it must affect you. You will see the first P in what we're going to discuss is political. It affects us. So we're going to look at this environmental things outside business that affect our business. Do you understand what I just said? Things outside business that affect our business. Things as far as in US affecting Ikorodu, affecting you in Igbogo, affecting you. They just sneeze a little bit. US economy just does something, starts affecting you. This is my first story. I'm going to, yes, I worked with Diamond Bank, I worked Access Bank. I worked in Nigeria, I worked outside Nigeria. And I've seen that in all we do, a lot of people, a lot of us don't, how do I use the word? Sorry, I'll use Yoruba, kobiara. So, we are not sensitive to, very well, Ogami, thank you. We are not so conscious of this kind of environmental things. All we are just doing, like me, when I left banking, I think Brother Shegun is aware of this, or 1 or 2 pastors. What do I want to do next? I want to start business. I want to start, only things people eat. So I went into business of Indomie. I bought a truck. I bought 2 trucks. What model will I use? Every other person is selling, you come and buy. I'll take it to you. So when they bring a whole truck of Indomie, my shop is so small, Agule Agbon in Agric. When I just land maybe about 600 cartons, before evening, it has gone. Right? And to you now, you say I'm making profit, Abi. No, it wasn't. There are some other factors that are there. Last man is there. Eh? Police is there. You just see your truck going. Hey, 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 come here. Move, don't come. So for a guy, come to move, don't come. What to do? What to do? What to go? How much is the profit on one Indomie? Maybe it's just 15 naira. And there's this stick. One of the reasons why I stopped is because of theft. My driver, one day I just woke up, and I believe it's the Holy Spirit, just led me. Please listen, please. Very important stories, please. My stories are the main reason. I'll take the presentation later. These ones, I'll send it to us. We'll read through. We can Google itself, and you will see all those things. But what I'm saying makes more sense to me than these things. So I went to one Igbo boy that buys around me. I said, "Oh boy, why are you not buying from me?" Oga, all these ones we're seeing are from you now. I said, "How did it happen?" He said, "Your driver sold it to me. Power oil, 5 packets, 5 cartons, those small wraps. The total profit on it was 15 naira profit. So he collected both capital and profit. In fact, when I told the boy, I got to the shop, my manager was saying, "Can you do short to me, understand?" And I saw everybody, even the driver, searching for it. So I told him, "Don't worry. Let's go to police station." On our way to the police station, he now said, "Oh, Daddy, principle of this time, we don't owe anybody salary. Anytime you need, I give you everything." All those things you are not, when you are starting business, you don't factor it in. Environmental factors. In fact, of late, the Holy Spirit told me that before you start a business, go and do what they call mentorship. The way the Igbo boys do it, for you to succeed. Apprenticeship. Have a mentor. Go there, learn the ropes, learn the game. How do they steal money? You want to learn how to, business of making hair, right? Go and learn. They steal money there. Go online, you see videos of people that travel all the way from UK, US. They want to come and do business. They want to come and do poultry business. Eventually, I heard of one that the girls, the attendants, they will carry the egg. They won't carry egg, they will break it into buckets. Now put it up, and you'll be seeing them as if they are going to pour water away. It's your egg yolk they are carrying. Give it to the malam doing meshai. Person sells it, collects the value. You understand what I'm saying? The man, with all the CCTV, he's sitting in America, Dallas, he's watching CCTV. And so you need to go and understudy somebody. Understudy somebody to be, and not just understudy, learn the game. Learn what there are so many environmental things. Regulations could come up. I had a staff when I was working in Diamond Access Bank. I was in charge of the whole of Ibadan. This guy was in Oshogbo, very good boy. So when I left banking, I heard he was doing well. So I said I would do the kind of business he was doing. He was into Ekuro extraction. How many of you know that business? Palm kernel. PKO. Yeah, that's the word. So I said, and then I went to he was still working. Meanwhile, he had his OND graduate. We had the BSc people in one shop there. They said, "Okay, you are very good to us." So he took me there. And when we got there, he was still earning 70,000 naira as a salary at 2014. I'm paying somebody 100,000 naira. So you can imagine the kind of profit he's making. So he taught us everything. Per kilogram, per kg of palm kernel, how much how much oil will come out, how much waste will come out, and the number of pigs the number, how to sell it, where to sell it, everything. He showed us, myself and a friend of mine, We went to Cotonou again to go and look for how to get the machine that can extract and do all those things, automated. And as at the time we wanted to start, Buhari came in and just said, from today, government policy, environmental effects. He said, from today, no more importation. And Dangote used to import palm kernel oil, palm kernel seed from Ivory Coast and Benin. Right? So now Dangote now was forced to start sourcing locally to feed his farm, his companies. You know, who can tell me the implication of that? No. Oh, good. Price goes up. The demand. He just goes to the market and says, "Okay, how much is your? It is maybe normally supposed to be 10,000 naira. You just say it's 40,000. I need 70. Carry 70. Meanwhile, my boy, if he goes there, it's 10,000. Egba 5 now. Okay, 6. Okay, 7. And then eventually they agree at 6.5 or 6. You understand what I'm saying? But it says 10. Give me 40. Give me. Then the man next time, because he says it's now 15. Give me 20 bags. That's how they priced this small boy out of business. Meanwhile, he has resigned to come and face this one. And you cannot go back to where you have resigned to say, sorry. Do you understand? A single government policy, environment, all these things has to be tied together. We're going to tie everything together in this thing we'll call pestle. I know a lot of us know it. A lot of us know it, but we're going to tie it together. In it, all of us, we're going to split ourselves into groups. The first 3, P-E-S, this side. The T-L-E, we're going to split into group, and then we're going to discuss it. But before we go into that, just want us to, what are the latest global things happening? Global things that you know that can affect business. Help me, help me. The war in Ukraine. The war in Ukraine. Hold on, how has that affected us? Wheat, bread, what else? Oil. Anytime there's any war, it affects Nigeria. Because our major stay, what gives us whatever we are using to do, and Tinubu is using to make noise and the pad, is oil. Right? So, it affects us. Any other thing that just happened globally, let's know. Apart from the wars. Trump coming in is another, it will change everything, environmental. It will change the way, maybe before, you have been, I don't know who goes, there's some people that do what we call mini business. You buy and sell clothes, or buy and sell things from US. I know a woman that all she does is, all she's living and she's making millions from it, is buying children's clothes and children's shoes and from US. Now, if Trump now says this, because he has promised, and we know he will never fail. Sorry to use that word. Sorry, I'm just sorry. That he will impose tariff. That's one of his, if you don't buy, most of those things in US, they are China made and all those. So when you now impose tariff on those things and they go and buy it there, the cost will go up, it will affect, and here in Nigeria, how many of us, how many of us are into accounting or are not into accounting, no business? You are not. We're all into it. So, Oga, please help me. What is the inflation rate now? No, exact. Okay, where does Tinubu want to put it by this time next year? 15. How does he want to do it, Oga? So, if for instance you have been buying, and when you have that kind of arrangement, the buying power of everybody shrinks. And he promised it that we are going to reduce the buying power, spread the tax net. So why are you laughing now? He is a promise he never fails to deliver. Do you understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people are now, that's why you find it difficult. So when Trump now does the zone now puts tariff on it, you now find it very difficult to, do you understand what I'm saying? That is how powerful. So, and then, the topic of what we're discussing is knowing your environment. So there's a part of the knowing. You must be circumspect as leaders. We all must be circumspect to understand these things so that when we are discussing, because a lot of people come and meet you, brother, I know, at least I know Brother Shegun. I know this man has a lot of people that come. Brother Shegun, your mind is talking, I know what the environment is saying. When you are discussing with people in our various constituencies, you understand what I mean by constituency. I did politics too. Pastor Sam sent me to politics, so I did small politics. Brother Shegun is one of those that are my campaigners. So, towards the end of this, we're going to look at what are the risks involved in these things we're talking about, and what are the mitigants. What are the various risks involved? What are the mitigants? What should we be doing? And part of it, from what we are going to look at, I pray there's time, because for the 5 minutes is damn too small, is that we must acquire knowledge. Knowledge, what is happening in the environment. We shouldn't be spiritual and be reading book, Bible, Kenneth Hagin, spiritual man, how to heal the sick. Also learn what, you see, I asked pastor, he is a pastor, he doesn't know that Tinubu is thinking of 15%. If I ask him now, what is his dollar to naira rate that he wants to bring Nigeria to, I'm sure you don't know. So we should all have that at our fingertips. Even other things is happening in the world scene. Let's just take one or two more, then we split ourselves into groups. The climatic condition, the weather change. It used to be, in this part of the time now, it should be different from what is, the rainy season went further than when it's supposed to be. Sokoto, Maiduguri, almost submerged this year. So if you are doing business and you are doing it in an area that is having issues with water, am I correct? We know you are into it, and we know where is Brother John, Brother Zedomi. So you have to factor those things in. Any other thing again? Assad, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso. What effect will it have with Nigerian market? What are the products we export or they import, or the change, the trade we have between those countries? Who knows what the reserve is now? Foreign reserve for Nigeria? No. It's more than that. Okay, help me. Foreign reserve. You are one of those that watch my knee. Eh? Kenneth Higgins. Help me, now help me. Foreign reserve. You don't know your country, your money. It is your money. Edu, the finance minister, had a meeting yesterday and he said it. We have moved from 32 to something. 42. What that implies is that Nigeria now has a backing of 42 solid $1 million. Sorry? No. It's what they normally use it for is to defend the dollar. To defend. Ideally, it should be able to help us bring down the naira. But this class cannot take what you are driving me to. So in order to keep to time, because I know this man very well, I live with him, so I know his job. How do we break ourselves into 3 groups here? The normal way now, be? 3 groups here, 3 groups. Yes, there's group P, there's group E, and your job is to sit down together and discuss all these things we have talked about. How does it affect our business in Nigeria? Okay.
First 2 row P, second 2 row E. Then this at the back, you take S.
S. Good.
Where is P?
P. This business thing, the driver has stolen my power oil. Police has collected, Indomie. The tax people just come. Area boys will just come. Ba 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 ba. You don't factor those external. So I say, Father, I'm tired. I need to get something to do. Then my wife, these people call women, very powerful people. He said, see, you can talk. You know how to do this thing. Why don't you start this? Me talk. I'm very shy. I don't know. I know I can face people, but deliver. I say no. Around that time, I'll cut the story short. I got the first job to go and teach IITA. And when I taught it, for 2 hours I spoke, they gave me 120,000 naira. 2 hours. They paid my tickets, fuel my car, gave me hotel, and paid me 120 to speak for 2 hours. Meanwhile, we'll carry bus from morning till night. They'll still steal power oil. They will do people and I give these people gari, rice. Every quarter, I buy 1 plate of gari for all my drivers and all my people working, just to make sure that if they have any problem, I know their family. All the management techniques, it didn't work. Because you see people like me or Bro Shegun, this is our size. They believe you have enough. Our jati wa jembe, So I told God, I said, I want to go into this thing, and then I want to please help me with it. So something now told me one night, call this person. You know that thing that talks? He will talk in 2025 for us to listen. So I called the girl. Eukaria and I worked 1998 in Port Harcourt. Yes, he was a teller, I was a teller. He was now a general in Keystone Bank. I said, Eukaria, I train. Help me, I need jobs. The head of training, I know him, I'll link 2 of you, but that's the best I can do. That's okay for me. So now linked the head of training. And now I just walked into the place and, Pastor Sam has told us that we should be bold. And nothing is impossible. So I said, my name is Jide Ijimakinwa. I did this, I did that. Talk. I just noticed the man was looking at me the way this man is looking at me. Sir, I know you. I said, from where? Which church you go to? Say he goes to Winners, but used to be in this star. I was I'm in the star. You are in the star. Otito. Said he was in protocol. I was behind. I used to be pastor's aide behind Pastor Sam. He said, no problem. Am I worried? We'll schedule an interview for you online. They fixed the date, and after the interview, they asked me questions. It was on a Saturday. The Sunday after, I was in church. I go to the gallery to go and sit. Then one of the people in Nehemiah, those are clean, right? Came and said, Bro Jide, what were you doing in our interview yesterday? Do you understand what is happening? You won't believe throughout 2023, they enlisted me as a facilitator, but they didn't give me a job until early 2024. I keep asking, say, hold on, bro, don't worry. Hold on. Throughout 2023 that I wrote it in my goal, it didn't happen, no. I rewrite Olonjo. It has to happen in 2024. And the first job was a 10 million job. And I know how much I made. I won't say it out. I had to call some other friends to come and help me. Because I can't do, if I do it alone, I'll just collapse. Next, this year again, before they even, all their problems in Keystone Bank, another 10 million. And he has told me that next year, but you must listen. And while I was doing that, you will learn, or part of the things that, part of the mitigant to what you are going to be discussing now, I'm going to lead into it, is that you must diversify. Don't just because you are you know how to, you and Sedomi, you know how to check water, soil. Something else must be happening somewhere else. Do you understand? You must get to do another arrangement. So what did I start? I looked for a job, and I got one. I became the MD, the chief operating officer of a company. So I was getting money from here and getting money from the other end. Then I joined Lagos State government again. I started doing advocacy. You know how much, maybe it's just 200,000 in a month, 300,000 in a month, or 400,000. Well, max 400. In fact, the first job they gave me was about 500,000 naira. But something was coming from, those are mitigants. Risk, environmental issues will affect your business, but one of the major mitigants you should have is diversification. You must find a way, even if it is just, okay, sorry to use this example, maybe the job you are doing is hairdressing and you know how to color hair for men, for women. Add barbing to it by the side, or POS, or something else. Ask God this December that what else will I add to this thing I'm doing? God has given us everything to live well on earth. Everything that pertains to godliness and life, to your health and your life. Like the last speaker said, the major obstacle is us. The major obstacle to achieving is no more God, it's us, because everything has been given. It's for you to see it. Reverend Sam's story, I know most of remember that story. Start with what you have. The woman was watching. Bottle. And all of us know that story. It's around you. Those four things, so if you can have 4 streams, no matter how small they are, they'll be bringing in some. Okay, last story. Of recent, God told me, I know that one, that I should go and study a course. I went to university at 50-something. Broshegun is Abi Broshegun. I'm going to graduate, convocation on the 16th of January. I went to university and I did another master's in risk management. I was with people that were my children's age mates in class. But that's not my business. I got instruction to go. It's continuous learning. You must continuously acquire knowledge. Not just Arkovi or Sam Adiyemi or Nick Adiyemi. Acquire other forms of business knowledge also. Both formal and informal. Business knowledge is not until when you read a book. Study the pattern that man is using. What is his mistake? What are the risks? What are the mitigants? You must, one group there was talking about risk and mitigants. You must always, something happened in Ibadan some days ago. 35 children died. Crowded, it can never happen in this town. Why? Because whenever you are applying anything in this town, you will look for risk mitigants. Ambulance, this one is here. Police is here. It's not ordinary that we are doing it, and that is what drives all of us. One of my staff came to my house. Oga, white, black, white, BT day star. I said, day star. Flower all of day star, day star. You understand what I'm saying? So we must live what we hear and what we preach. I've told you about 3 things now, mitigants. The first one is what? Listen. God will definitely speak to you as long that spirit is in you, except you are not born again, he will speak. Listen. Oh, it has happened. You are here. I'm trying to rush. So, 10 minutes. How do we do this now? Okay, we'll do it, Sha. Group one. Group one. Political. Who is speaking?
So, let me advise speaking.
Okay.
So, all the groups, we are going to have physical group, which is 6 people here and 6 online.
Yes, yes.
So, just a minute.
1 minute.
1 minute. Then you wrap up. Yeah, just tell us straight to the point, then you wrap up.
Who is speaking? Who?
Yeah, quick.
Oh, yeah, hop.
A minute, I'm checking the time. You know I will stop you if you exceed that minute.
Okay, my name is Oluwole Oshewa. We all know that politics decides, yes, political. So politics decide everything. Our facilitator has, shed a lot of light on it. Basically, in Nigeria, we discussed in our group that even starting from the time for politics, you see the majority of citizens are geared towards politicians, which is major. So business suffer, so because when you don't get the attention of the people who should come into your business, they are focused onto politics. Then how do you get the much needed revenue for your business? So that's key. We also spoke about the present budget, all the various aspects of budget. We spoke about that, which a lot of members of our group concluded that the major aspect of 2025 budget is going to be good for Nigerian businesses. And finally, I think we spoke maybe also about taxation, which is key. There's, whether you like it or not, whatever government does in taxation will affect all businesses, whether it's mama selling guguru or yapa or boli. It's going to affect all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, next group. I thought you would discuss about River State. Those are good examples.
Please, just clap for him.
Please clap for him. When a governor, because of politics, some people held the economy to ransom. It affects everybody. That's what politics can do. If we put the wrong person there, so you must have mitigants against such things.
Thank you. My name is Ashaya Adenowo, and we're looking at economic factors. And the first thing is, this is what everybody can relate with. And our conclusion was that because of inflation, operational cost has gone up. So price immediately follows that. Because price has gone up, demand is dropping generally. And that makes businesses to go slow. Businesses are slow. Some are packing up. Those who are surviving, small business especially, those who are still trying to operate, they're on the verge of going out of business because patronage is dropping, purchasing power has dropped. In fact, we can't be talking about profits when patronage is very low. And then talking about the currency also, when we look at it, comparing our currency with the currencies of countries around us, not just the dollar, our currency is quite so weak. And that is also, adding this, is also affecting manpower supply. Foreigners, artisans that are foreigners, they would rather go back to their country because the currency is so low. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Clap for him, please. How many of us have, sir, how much you have up to 10,000 in your savings account? No, hold on. Where do you keep it? Savings account? Correct. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. Everybody, if you are keeping your money in a savings account, even if it's 2 naira, sorry, I don't think you're a Daystar staff or Daystar member. If you are keeping 1 naira in savings account, inflation is at 35, and you are standing at 5 or 3. Go mutual funds. Look for, if you don't know how to get, meet me, I'll point you. 20% minimum, at least to reduce the effect of this inflation. If it was the presentation I wanted to bring before, you see some countries having, when some people are doing inflation, these ones are deflating.
Okay, thank you. My group discussed social factors, and we started with looking at consumer behavior. Unfortunately, one of us sells consumer goods, so he shared his experience, where we discovered that people are now interested in the cheaper alternative, which is, of course, economics. Economics taught us that people always go for, when you have alternatives, and people always go for the cheaper alternative. So that is one of the consumer behaviors that's actually happening now. You want to buy a shirt. What you are concerned with is that the shirt is good. You know, it's no longer about the label. And then we also look at demographic shifts. What is actually the concern of the different ages? I mean, for somebody amongst us, it is the fact that this is December or January, especially those of us who are parents already, and you are looking at the bills that you have to pay in December and January, rent, school fees, and all the stuff. So definitely demographic shift. And then there are still, even amongst us, those who are still young working class, let me use that word, whose concern right now is career development. And then, of course, we also looked at the social trends, the impact of Japa, and the opportunities in Japa. That while some people are Japaing, it is leaving behind those who are not. Somebody amongst us was able to tell us about the fact that she had taken advantage of the vacuum that those who are Japa had left. And I think we too should look at that.
Thank you very much. Please take a cue from, I see Daystar is a model we should always follow up. Daystar is a big model. Daystar plays well in research, and that's why you see us doing things more tending towards the younger generation. If your business is not aligning towards those things, you see, or technology, it may have problems very, very soon. AI, I'm sure they're going to talk about AI, is pushing everybody up. Elon Musk, he has a new phone now that doesn't charge for almost 20, 40, 30 days. I don't know if you heard about that phone. It's going to come up soon.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. All right, so this is a technology group, and we looked at the technology factors. Yes, so we identified that technology will bring disruptions to your businesses, even to career individuals. And central to all is actually AI. A lot of us are aware of ChatGPT, the popular one. There are also other ones by Gemini by Google. We have Grok by X, which is formerly Twitter. We have a number of them. We have AIs that have capability of generating images, videos. So it's disrupting content creation, copywriting, even summarizing documents. So we have been able to identify that when technology is introduced into a business, it can help you to reduce the number of staff strength you will need to run your business. That means that it's unemployment for some, that's in the adverse effects. But in terms of for businesses, you can take advantage of technology to optimize your processes, to reduce your overhead. There's a reference I have to make to Hidden Figures. It's a movie on Netflix. It's how a department was almost wiped out just because they introduced a mainframe computer. So there's this department that does manual calculation for NASA for rocket launching. However, when they introduced the mainframe computer that can now do those calculations in just a matter of seconds, it wiped out a whole department. If they Hidden Figures. Yes, it's on Netflix.
Blacks, are they?
Yes. But they had to go and learn the new mainframe computer so they could repurpose their knowledge.
That is the future. If your business is not tending towards AI or using basic technology, you will be archived. All the banks now are complaining about Money Point. Every bank is complaining about Money. Money Point has acquired the banking license now. Sahara Reporter is pushing all the paper news into all this you now read online. Next group, please. Next group. Legal.
Legal, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. So we in our group we discuss legal. Everything we discussed here is under legal. PES2, both politics, environment, everything. All the dramas in politics will still fall under politics. Once it gets to the Supreme Court, sorry? Under legal, yes, politics, everything we talked about here is going off, all will fall under under law. All the political impasse we talked about, everything will all ultimately be resolved at the Supreme Court, and everybody will find their level. So we look at environmental law. How if you are selling on by the roadside, if government just remembers, they will just go into the law and start to, that will disrupt your business. We also talk about professional regulation. You can't just wake up and say you want to establish a university or establish an hospital. We also talk about tenancy law. You need to understand tenancy law as a business person, so that you understand your rights and your obligation. Also on international scene, we also know what is going on with all the impasse between the Democrats and the Republican, the budget shutdown, which is going to affect some workers not getting their salary, this December. So if your resources is linked to that, that is going to affect you as well. So there is challenge and there is opportunities. So you need to follow the policy, follow the law, and see where the money is and be able to make money from it.
I hope all of us, no, it's not just for what they are saying. I hope we're picking one or two things that will help both our businesses and help people outside. Because the Bible says, my people perish because they don't understand, because they have no knowledge. So let's please, I said earlier on that 45 minutes can't do justice to this thing I've seen. And I'm saying if you take the whole day, in fact 2 days, we won't be able to conclude this thing, but we'll have been able to do justice to it. Last step. Environmental.
Yes, environmental factors. Good afternoon, everyone. We discussed about the environmental factors. My name is Ijimakinwa Ogunleye. We talk about the environmental factors that could affect us now and in 2025. We talk about the weather conditions. We talk about the climate change. We talk about the government environmental regulations. We talk about the dry season. That might be a dry season next year, where more water will be needed to be consumed. The rainy season, people selling things, umbrella and some other things, we come to play. We talk about food and flood that affected in places like Borno and Kebbi. Then it will affect food production next year. There might be a shortage of food production next year, and there might be high cost of setting up a food company or industry next year. Then we talk about the banditry that affected farmers too. It's part of the environmental factors, and it affected the output of the farmers this year, and that will have a resulting effect next year. Also, we talk about the hurricane in America, and we know what's happening in America, the flood. Some of those flood affected cars will be cheap to Nigeria next year, and if some of us will buy them, and that means we're going to spend money with the mechanics next year. So we have to be aware of that. Then we talk about energy savings alternative source of energy. We need to explore that against next year to reduce our cost on energy consumption. And lastly, we talk about the government regulation on use of space, especially in an area like Lagos. Very important. And if you are building or going to real estate, you have to put that into consideration so that your estate will not be demolished. Thank you very much.
Please, okay, let me just explain one or two things about what he just said, so that we'll take it seriously. All right? Take for instance, energy. Energy. You should go for things like inverters. I don't know how. I started a new job of recent, and I noticed that we spend less. Petrol is high, diesel is high. When they just say we just put on inverter, everybody is managing it. No more AC. So if you want to stay afloat in business, because your margins will thin out. Your margins will thin out if you are relying on petrol and diesel. Your margins will thin out if you don't know how to use AI to direct your business. Your margins will thin out if, for instance, one funny legislation came and they say, from today, no more pure water. I have a pure water factory beside, and I heard it's coming up in January. I don't know that will change it. Pure water factory, they had about 7, they used to park 7 different trucks. Now it's only 1 truck. They are now started arranging themselves to adjust to that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like we said, one of the major things, major mitigant is diversification. Make sure you are not doing one channel of job. Make sure you have other, not when I mean you now, I can imagine he's married, right? Am I correct, right, sir? Your wife will be doing something else. Your wife, I met one man, they call it Twist Fago of recent. He's into cement. The wife has started a supermarket. They also have transport system, transport business beside. How will they ever feel the economy? Why would they ever think of jackpotting? Okay, sorry.
But you say your time is up.
I know.
But I will allow another 6 minutes.
Okay.
Now that 6 minutes is for those online.
Can I just?
Am I magnanimous?
I have one or two things on my
On your
personal.
slide. Okay, I'll give you 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
6 minutes for online, 4 minutes for you to do your wrap
Okay.
up on your slide.
How do we get them to speak?
They will talk now. Okay, so and I know if I leave you, you will not leave here till tomorrow. Okay, so for those that represented our groups here physically and us online, please drop your points on Region 2 Playground. Please, those things you said, help us drop them on Region 2 Playground. Thank you very much. So, Group 1 online. You can unmute and talk. Well, no, we asked them to choose who is presenting before. Nobody is presenting in Group 1. Can we go to Group 2 if Group 1 is not ready? So if they are not able to talk, maybe what we'll just do is that they should drop their points. Good. They should drop their points. Okay.
Good morning,
Okay.
Mr. Peter.
Please drop your points. Somebody is talking. Because I feel we should allow them to talk. So I don't feel that.
Yeah. Group 6. How about Group 6? Room 6.
There's somebody is talking.
Room 6.
Group 6, yeah.
Room
I know
6
Charles
talk.
will talk. Is that Charles?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's Charles, okay.
So what let me speak on climate change. So if you are going into a Greek, one of the things you have to do, you have to think about how the climate won't affect your business, which is basically the rain. So the rains might not come on time, so you have to be ready with sprinklers. You understand? So you have to have sprinklers so that if the rains don't come, the rain, your sprinklers will work. And those who are depending on raw materials from agric, this thing, to remember that all this flood and co will affect your raw materials. So you have to prepare. If you don't get your raw materials, where else can you source your raw materials from? That's mitigation. You understand? So, and then for the devaluation, it's a double-edged sword. Like cocoa farmers now are happy because they are making more money now. Because if you convert this thing, so it's whichever. So let me stop so far. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, can we please appreciate him? Awesome points.
Mr. Charles, are you in Group 6 or you're in Group 1?
He's in Group 6.
How did you group us? Because you just left us on blank. We were just trying to gather ourselves.
No, so I can hear you. So we're put into breakout room automatically.
Yes.
Yes, that's what happened. So are you talking for any group or Group 6 then?
Yes, I was in Group 1 with Peter, but I was knocked out. By the time I came in, I lost what point was raised and all that. So
they now took you to Group 6.
Okay, so that was why I was asking Peter if he's going to do the presentation.
Okay, so
Peter Anta.
Okay. Or do you want to present for Group 1 now?
I would have loved to, but I lost touch when I came in. I didn't know where they were.
Okay. If you have anything to say, if you don't have no problem, we can go on. So any other group ready?
Drop it in the chat room.
Any other group ready? Okay, we're moving on. Thank you. You can drop your points on the Region 2 group chat room.
Okay, I think I have 6 more minutes now, so. Okay, so we trust we are almost done. Now I want us to have. We are going to send this to the group chat so you look at it. Diversification. We've discussed that extensively, and also what Peter said there. You are in an area that is flooded. Or sorry, you are in a business that require you to maybe it is yam that you need to do your business. If you can't get it from Benue, start looking at somewhere in the west or something where you continually don't just make your business a one-way business. Look for alternative. Always create even in Bowman, when he was making the car, he has a spare tire. So you must always have a backup plan. Then we have looked at continuous learning. We have looked at what other continuous learning. You must make sure you are getting yourself abreast. Go to webinars, go to trainings, train your staff. Don't imagine they know it. If your staff knows things like AI and all, it helps you. There are some things, it keeps you safe. Then the last part of it, which we want to look at, is you must make sure that people around you, you must make sure that you develop something that will help you manage stress. Either you go, take time out to go and relax, take time out to go and, because these things, and you're in Lagos, you're in Nigeria, and this kind of environment, you need to find time to reduce stress and take care of our health. We must eat well, and when I mean eat well, I'm not saying about amala, eat something, balanced diet. You must eat, but see, I'll tell you one small story before I go. Sorry, Pastor Emma Binejo. I don't know how many of you know Pastor Akiyemi. Pastor Akiyemi. You know him? I know he does. I met him. He told me his story. How he discovered he went to the toilet and saw blood all over. And when he got to the hospital, they told him he had cancer. He said, Lord, how can cancer go around the whole of Nigeria and it's his own body? When he was in university and before he married, he kept himself. He never went around jumping from one woman to the other just to please you. Long and short, he prayed for some time with some 6 other people, ministers like him, and the direction was healthy living. Healthy living is go back to the way Eden was. God designed that. He didn't design us to be taking coke. Sorry, Bro Shagun. I think he didn't hear. Thank God he didn't hear. No, you talk to him later. God, the body was designed, the whole digestive system was designed to take the kind of sugar we're supposed to be taking. It's natural. It is not that one we are taking in Coke, in Indomie, in all those stuff. Our taste buds have just adjusted to it. So, and most of us here, we are more than 40. We have to unadjust our taste bud to something else, or else we are heading for something. This job, this business we are doing, and we are doing retreat, it will be zero if you don't have good health. So we need to take time out to check our stress. For people above 50, above 40, once in a year, at least for men, prostate tests. For women, cervical cancer, and every other test you can do. You must, to have a very wonderful 2025, achieve this. Thank you very much.